That's a photo that my mother took, which I wish I looked cooler in. And I wish I was not holding a Pomeranian, but these are the cards that we are dealt. Am I right? What you'll see here is a top of the line 1989 286K computer machine. From the proceeds, from the profits from my first business, I bought that. That was $5,000 in 1989, right? Had a dot matrix printer. I don't mean to flex on you, you know? But what it meant to me and why I enjoy conversations like the ones we're going to have today is I was a weird kid. But this was the first time as a 13-year-old that I understood how technology could multiply effort, right? Like people wanted to pay me to design stuff. And it led me down a creative road in a creative life where I would build businesses. I would sell those businesses. I would work with people to build other businesses, helping folks, some of you in this room, raise millions of dollars. Sell, create revenue at scale. And talk about scale. I don't know if you guys have met, that's Earth. That's a photo taken from Artemis 2. When our astronauts, they leapt past the bounds of Earth and they looked back, and if, you know, we're here somewhere. And it gives you a little perspective. And all these astronauts, the smartest people in the world, are in space, hurtling at 1,000 miles an hour. The smartest people in the world put into space by the smartest people in the world, hurtling through the cosmos. And I don't know if you knew this, but yeah, their email wouldn't work. They're halfway, they're in space, right? What's that tell us? When do most people experience technology? Somebody tell me the way, what's the way that like most people experience technology?
Phone breaks.
Phones, it breaks. Who said it breaks? It breaks. There's Marcus from the back. But it breaks. So you have a $100 billion system behind you and you still can't reply all. You know, your mom still doesn't know what you're bringing to the potluck. That's what these guys are going through. And that's what more signal, less noise is meant to answer. Because technology is full of noise, of doom and gloom and prophecy. And it has been foretold it's going to be the best thing in the world. It's going to be the worst thing in the world. But really what it is what we make of it. So when Marcus asked me about helping out today and emceeing, I was like, oh, cool, AI. But his approach was different. And our approach is different. We talk about facts. We talk about fiction, and we talk about FOMO. What is it? But what is it really? And then all of us have been tasked with adopt AI. And you're like, I do not know what that means. Right? What does that even mean? Those are the things we're talking about today. I'll tell you one thing it means. There's a quote from Charlie Munger. Show me the incentive, and I'll show you the outcome. Don't worry about the technology. Worry about the incentive for using it. Learn the incentive. What incentives do people have to use, to not use? Right? And I'm going to do Charlie Munger. Although if you know Charlie, our portfolios are slightly different. I mean, yeah, there you go. Somebody's like, I'm going to do them one better. I'm going to say incentive plus intention equals actual reality. Because Charlie also shared a quote that essentially the ultimate rule of nature is that reward wins out. Reward wins. So what do we reward and what do we punish? What do we look for? What do we incentivize as a company? And as a leader, when you have intention to build, intention to help, do you incentivize in the right way? Does your spending and effort align with the things that you are sharing, with the goals that you have? And over, everyone that's speaking today, one of the coolest things is you guys are doing that work, right? To align those incentives with that intention. Because reality can get messy. Grok rolls out pornographic anime companion lands Department of Defense contract. I'm not making that up. That's just like a headline on a Tuesday, right? So when reality is sort of going back and forth, how do we focus our efforts? How do we move forward as leaders in corporations as well as community, like our friends at Harbor's Gate? When AI promises incredible medical breakthroughs at scale, this is from it's like being able to see cancer years early. There's all of these things, these big promises, and this amazing ability for data to come together and work for us instead of against us. Or you can just use the Chipotle Claude bot to get your Python scripts, right? So this is literally, hey, I want to get my order, but first I need to write a script to reverse a linked list. Can you help? And it's literally like, well, you can use an iterative approach to Python, yada, yada, yada. Can I help with anything else? Or would you like to start with the burrito bowl? The highest use of AI. And then you have stories like Swan AI. It's a gentleman that went slightly viral recently. Someone that was bragging about their token bill for the month. So someone that was bragging about building a company and their monthly bill was $113,000 just for tokens. We've all been, so it's like, what's the brag, right? Is it being used efficiently? Is it being used effectively? Is it being used for the purpose of flourishing, for us, for you and me, for people, for human flourishing? Oh, who here knows what this means? If you are of a certain age, and I'll tell you, we have some wonderful volunteers in here from the University of Tennessee. And so you are younger. A lot of us spent our elementary and middle school years dying of dysentery. This is a game called Oregon Trail. And nobody made it to, did anybody make it to Oregon? Raise your hand. Oh, listen, flexing on me. Okay, cool. I've never solved a Rubik's Cube either. Have you done that? But this is where we learned intention, like what happens to what we really want to do. This is how a lot of us experience technology for the first time. And when these volunteers are UT graduates or digital natives, right? They didn't even have to die of dysentery. They got iPads in school. So here's what today is about. The focus on what doesn't change. If we had this summit next month, we'd be talking about something else, right? If we had it next year, I'd be on a floating skateboard right now, right? So what doesn't change? Do people want to be treated well? Yeah, I think so. Do we want to make products and services efficient and effective? Right? Do we want to lower costs? Do we want to treat our people well? Do we want to make sure that when we develop something, it actually does the job it's intended to do? I think so. And that goes so far beyond technology. That goes to intention. That goes to purpose. That goes to incentive. And that goes to a reality we all get to build in this room. A reality where, for me, AI unlocks so much. On the screen right now, on the left, Al Genovas. This is the woman working through my work at places like UT Research Park, through the Spark Innovation Center. I get to spend my days with literally the most brilliant people in the world, developing next level manufacturing technology. And after a 2-hour session about business strategy, we folded in our notes. We folded in her old pitch deck, which looked like a 7th grade science experiment. And we made what would have taken weeks and months, took days and hours to build a brand, to build a customer profile, to build a business model that spoke to her customers, not in her language, but in theirs. That is powerful. And on the right, Data Rook. Hey, Gus, what up? I didn't know Gus was going to be here today, so that's great. But other folks are using AI to get people outside. You see some people playing soccer, so there's folks like Datarook that get kids outside tracking their movements so they get to go in and use that to build analytic applications to understand the underpinning of what makes the world tick. That, to me, is more signal, less noise. That, to me, is the people that do the work for, y'all, everyone in here, the operators. The people that do not believe the hype. The people that understand what they're building, who they're building it for, why. And we're all trying to figure out what's next.